The second season of Andor is arguably the greatest Star Wars show ever made. I argue against that, but it's definitely one of the best. The mature tone is a welcome new addition. Don't get me wrong, there's other times where Star Wars has gotten fairly mature with darker tones and like a little more gruesome than usual. I mean, there's camera cuts to try to keep it PG, but there are some brutal moments in this show, and there are a lot of times where you introduced to new characters, and boom, they're gone. You know, I mean, it's that crazy. Like, it literally feels like real life. It feels like anything can pop off. But at the same time, like I said, I don't think it's the best show, just because there are times where I was bored. I was like, this episode feels like a filler. They could have avoided this plot altogether, or I think it could have did certain inclusions of other characters they mentioned briefly that they could have taken more time to dive into. But still, great show, and I recommend it to everybody. This is easy, probably the most down-to-earth version of Star Wars I've ever seen. Like, you feel like this could happen to you, even though we're talking about a galaxy far, far away or some crap. But hey, amazing either way. Now, I get why, but I definitely don't agree. I've seen some people say this is the perfect show. There's no way this is the perfect show. I remember certain elements and parts of this show that were done in other sci-fi shows or movies, or just other Star Wars TV shows and movies that did that type of scenario way better than this show did. But either way, this is still a great show. If you're into like sci-fis or futuristic fantasy, this is right up your alley. As a Star Wars fan, you're basically required to watch this because it's so influential with the different perspectives and takes, good versus evil. You'll definitely want to know what's going to happen next and be asking for more. The main character, Andor, he's really relatable. You know, he's not like good or bad. He has conflicted feelings about a lot of things. A lot of the characters in the show actually feel more realistic because you can't just say they're on one side. There's times you'll agree with them and other times you'll question their decisions. The theme of certain episodes was so mind-blowing that I was still thinking about it after I watched it. The perspective of the common man and the government grounded in a fantasy world is a beautiful idea. This is arguably the most emotionally charged Star Wars show ever made. There were times I almost wanted to tear up.